Yeah, just, what up? What up, what up? Just give me a minute or two and I'll get going here. Just want to smoke one real quick. I want to play through this again because there's so much more that you can find and the story to dive into. I like the way this game is. Oh, I know. It's my co-host Aurora. Yes, I know. It's crazy. Yeah. Yep. All right. Let's get moving forward. Let's enter the madness. Probably won't talk much. If anything, I'll be responding to shit in the game. I have the chat pulled up on my phone so I can see it. I'm just not pulling it up on the screen this time. Oh, you were all talkative a minute ago. Boston, 1924. Edward Pierce, veteran of the First World War, drowns his memories in liquor and sleeping pills. He is now a private detective who has trouble finding a case able to lift him from his torpor. Pierce must find a new case quickly or risk losing his license. There's things that I did last time, things I said last time I'm going to change. R.I.P. You are Providence. Forgot about this song.
Fate inescapably draws you on. What a putrid offering. Don't fight. You have been chosen. Behold. Everything has already been written. But perhaps you will attempt to change your destiny.
I hate whiskey. Married woman runs off with her girlfriend. The husband couldn't understand it. Natural sciences, linguistics, archaeology. Been a while since I jotted down something other than my nightmares.
Nightmares.
A good old story of blackmail in a speakeasy. I wonder why I still take these things. Been too long since I've slept in a bed. I used to be an avid reader. The Wentworth Agency doesn't attract top-notch cases. I have business here to attend to. I'm listening.
Are you Edward Pierce, private investigator contracted by the Wentworth Detective Agency?
That's correct.
Yeah.
Hello, Mr. Pierce.
I'm Edward
I'm
Pierce.
Lucy Sherifield, in charge of
I
investigators
look
over
like
at
Keanu
Wentworth.
Reeves.
I'm calling because of a problem with your file. A fire has destroyed some of our documents.
Is that right?
I'm so very sorry, but I have to collect your personal information yet again.
Bum, 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 bum. I lagged on this one last time. Get everything up to 3 at least. Oops.
Thank you for this information, Mr. Pierce. Our files will soon be up to date. And on a related matter, may I raise a sensitive question?
What's wrong?
As you know, we wish to closely monitor the progress of our contractors. And it would seem you've been accepting fewer new cases.
Work is scarce.
Mr. Pierce, you know as well as I do, there's never been more investigative work than now.
But are those cases worth it?
They're worth not losing your license.
Yeah.
Show yourself worthy of the Wentworth Detective Agency, and we might keep you on the payroll. Mr. Pierce, you two...
I'm coming.
Sir, I came here on the advice of a person whom I hold in high esteem, and I must say that I expected anything but a drunkard's lair.
You're free to leave anytime, sir.
Do you know to whom you speak?
Stephen Webster, industrialist and art collector. All of Boston knows you.
Tell me, Mr. Pierce, are you capable of handling a new case, or are you simply a deadbeat inebriate?
Grab my sour
If
patch
you come to
Kids.
me, it means you're desperate.
Nobody believes me. They take me for an old fool. Sarah, my little girl, she is dead. Even you must know of her. She was Sarah Hawkins.
The painter? Yes. Everyone knows her work.
The police accuse her of killing her family. They all died in a fire. Sarah, her husband, and Simon, my grandson.
I can't do anything for a woman who is already dead.
Find out the truth. They say she was mad, but I know that's a lie. She would never have done such a thing.
But if you have no proof...
I've brought all that I have. Look. I want you to look carefully at this painting. Tell me all the assumptions that come to mind.
I know, it's creepy.
What am I supposed to find?
Tell me if this is the work of madness. Or if, on the contrary, you manage to detect some logic, a rationality to follow so that I may understand it.
Is that all you want from me?
Yes, please.
All right. I'll look at your picture. That's all you've got? The painting?
I placed a file on your desk. It contains everything I have on the affair.
Contracted to the Wentworth Detective Agency. After the Great War, I decided to set up in Boston, where there is no lack of work for guys like me. One small-time case follows the other. Adultery, settled scores, disappearances that are not actually disappearances. The old office couch is less comfortable than a real bed, and I should probably get rid of these empty bottles, but this place is mine for the moment. The old lighter. The guy's still there? Jesus. Look at your painting.
Its strange beauty isn't enough to hide the feeling of dread it carries.
Weird fucking painting.
A warehouse on Darkwater. Some sketches of the Hawkins family. Rather thin.
The police report said the fire started in the dining room and claimed the whole family. The police decide on a domestic accident, but they nevertheless insist on Sarah Hawkins' mental frailty. Why?
So, Mr. Pierce, what do you make of these elements?
Her husband was a big deal on the island. The police are sticking to the accident theory. Though they mentioned Sarah's mental state was fragile. I believe you are right, sir. This case is not as simple as it appears.
I am aware of that. I believe there is more to this case than just an accident.
Darkwater? Never heard of the place. Where is that?
It's a small, remote island off the coast of Boston. Sarah lived there with her son and her husband.
I suppose you want to ship me off there.
Darkwater holds the secret regarding my daughter, Mr. Pierce. You must uncover it.
I'm a private investigator, not an art critic.
I guess you're not as clever as you think, then. The painting is linked to this case, can't you see? You must find the meaning behind all this.
You must tell me if what the police suggest about the mental state of your daughter is true.
No. Sarah had visions. Everyone knew that. She never would have hurt a fly. She only thought she saw things.
Saw things? What do you mean by that?
I never knew what she meant by that. My daughter was an enigmatic figure, Mr. Pierce. You must find out the truth about her life and death.
The sender's label mentions Warehouse 36.
That's right. It came with Sarah's last painting.
And you think your daughter could have been the sender?
That is what you must find out. Go to Darkwater. Find Warehouse 36.
The sender's label meant...
That's right.
And you think you're...
That is what... Go to Dark...
I think I'm beginning to understand.
I'm willing to do anything for my daughter to recover her honor.
Quiet down. I'm on your side. Let's sum things up. An artist dies with her family in a house fire. Your only clue is a sort of promontory painting sent from Darkwater right before her death.
Correct. And the rumors about her supposed folly.
Which you don't totally deny.
Find that warehouse. Find out the truth regarding Sarah Hawkins' death. You'll be handsomely compensated.
All right. I'll take the case. I'll go to Darkwater and look into the death of your daughter.
Thank you, Mr. Pierce. I didn't expect any less coming from a man in your situation.
Wow.
Something's queer.
Wow.
But it's not like I have a choice. Darkwater. I think I've got a book on the North Atlantic. I'll no doubt find some information on this island in there. I used to be an avid reader. Darkwater is off the coast of Boston. But I've never heard of it. According to this book, it was often mentioned during whale hunting times at the end of the 19th century. But it seems to have been shunned since then. All I have to do is go to the port. I just hope that I can find a boat able to take me to Darkwater.
Charles Hawkins was a local celebrity on Darkwater, the heir of a ship-owner family. He used to travel a lot. He met Sarah Hawkins during a trip in Paris. They fell in love, got married, and Hawkins took her to the remote island of Darkwater. They had a child named Simon and lived a very secretive life. Sarah Hawkins, a painter known for her tortured artistic universe. She was worshipped for the strangeness of her work and the rarity of her public appearances. I seem to remember that she once said, "I paint what my dreams whisper to me." Her marriage to Charles years ago surprised high society columnists. A wealthy Boston heiress known for her party-going chooses to follow her new husband and live as a recluse on the island of Darkwater. She disappeared from the front pages of newspapers, and nobody heard any more about her. Even her death in a fire remained a secret. Only her father, Stephen Webster, continues seek the truth. Oh, excuse me. Oops. only son of Sarah and Charles Hawkins. He died in a fire that claimed his whole family. Wah, wah, wah. Boring. It seemed that the world has forgotten the very existence of this isolated rock off the coast of Boston. It's a small, inhospitable island. Its coastline is made up of steep cliffs and sharp reefs. Yeah. What is that? All those? Other inventory. Knowledge. Alright. Let's get a move on. Pierce took the Hawkins case. The cursed artist is accused of having caused a fire that killed her and her family. As the only clue, she left her father a disturbing painting. On the shipping label, an address, a warehouse set on the docks of the island of Darkwater. The place seems to be the starting point for Pierce's investigation. But could it also be the place where it also ends? Wah, wah, wah! Yeah. Meow. Meow. Wow. Wow. Oh, wow. Wow. Let's enter the madness, kitty. That's a good idea, Pierce.
We're almost there. Stay on board. There's guys coming to unload. Welcome to Darkwater Island, Mr. Pierce.
Why, thank you, Captain Fitzroy.
So, what wind brought you?
Does the Hawkins case mean anything to you?
A sad story that we would all prefer to forget. Charles Hawkins may have been a landlubber, but he was a good man.
And his wife, Sarah Hawkins.
A nice young woman, and a great painter. What a tragedy. You know what? Go have a drink at the Stranded Whale. What you need is a good pick-me-up. Mitchell may not be very welcoming, but his bar holds a surprise for you. As for me, you'll find me at the Harbor Master's office. If it's the Hawkins family that brings you here, I have a pile of documents that should interest you.
Understood. I'm going for a look around the docks.
The bah. That fucking guy. Oh no, I got the goof. Darkwater Port.
There's nothing to sort out. Your chum wanted
Nothing
to
for you
stir
here
us up.
either. Pretense.
But you can stay to watch if you want. You can pick up the pieces.
Come on, you bastard. You'll see what a true sailor's got.
Please move back. Let the police do their work. Hey, Sullivan. Can't you go any faster? The same goes for you, sir. Move along.
They seem to be very agitated about a dead animal.
You're telling me? These fools think that putting the whale back in the water will bring about the end of the world.
They're superstitious.
If only you knew. They only listen to Captain Fitzroy. And not always. And you. What brings you to our island?
I'm looking for this address.
What brings you?
Warehouse 36, Darkwater Harbor.
I like you, so I'll be frank with you. Don't go near the place. Don't try to get in.
Why?
Because I told you so. Learn to accept some friendly advice. Now, please, allow me to do my job.
You can't understand. You're not sailors. It's a sign. There's something coming.
The blood is just beginning to coagulate. It died a short time ago. Only a specialist would know what killed it.
That's no way to treat an up.
You can see that I'm busy, can't you?
You can't understand. You're not sailors. It's a sign. There's something coming.
Prohibition is just a joke around here. That suits me fine. careful. Let's get him another drink. He's dry.
In my bar, we don't serve troublemakers.
Pure instinct. I behaved like a Hun, and I sincerely apologize.
Veteran, huh?
307th Infantry Regiment.
Well, that'll be okay for now. But the war is over. Try not to forget it.
I'm here for information, not for a fight.
I prefer it that way. Speak then. I reserve the right to answer or not.
Excuse me.
Do you know where this place is? Warehouse 36, Darkwater Harbor.
The Hawkins warehouse. I see, yeah. If I were you, I wouldn't hang around there.
Why not?
First off, there are rumors. Sailors from around here say you can hear noises coming from the warehouse at night. Screams, that sort of thing.
Screams?
And that's not all. There's the fate of its owners and all the superstitions that go with it. But I'll say no more. Anything else?
The stranded whale. I guess this bar has been here a long time.
What can I tell you? I'm a nostalgic sort of guy. The name, it reminds us of the golden age of dockwater. When our whalers left for long months and came back, sweating and stinking of the oil and flesh of the whales they'd been hunting.
It was a tough time, all the same.
Ah, but steeped in glory. We've never known such wealth since then.
I didn't expect to find alcohol on this island. What's the source of this miracle?
You mean who? Our source of supply wouldn't like me to betray them to the first comer.
I'll tell nobody.
She'd know it anyway. Anything else?
That'll be all for now.
Roy Mitchell. Of course.
Nightmares. Can hear things and voices whispering. Will follow its reader and appear at various locations, gifted with its own consciousness, until it finds a new reader. Ah, that's it. Maybe we should let him take it. No, the risks are too high. It's a book, after all. Pure knowledge.
What can I get you?
What can you tell me about her?
We all knew she was famous on the mainland for her paintings. Never understood why.
That creepy shit.
I don't want to speak ill of the dead.
Her style made her famous. How would you describe it? Tortured?
Hellish.
Yeah? Well, it wasn't normal. I mean, for a young woman with a child and all that. We saw them in the papers and we said to ourselves, who can paint such things? Is that how she sees the world?
So they made you feel uncomfortable?
You need to see them for yourself. Make up your own mind.
Her vision. Was it so terrible?
Way I see it, the truth is really a question of point of view.
What do you mean by that?
Do you still trust the truth after a bottle of whiskey?
Sometimes it depends.
I've got what I need.
Anything else?
That'll be all for now. The miraculous catch. Apparently, the most significant event of the last 80 years.
People were amazed at the sight of the unbelievable catch the brave vessel had on board, of a size that went beyond that of the formidable toothed whales. The miraculous catch.
Nightmares. Can hear things and voices whispering. Will follow its reader and appear at various locations, gifted with its own consciousness, until it finds a new reader. Ah, that's it. Maybe we should let him take it. No, the risks are too high. It's a book, after all. Pure knowledge.
Do you like our song?
We're true sirens. We may not be pros, but we give it all we've got.
That's true. It's a reminder of the time when we were still fishing for whales off Darkwater Island.
Darkwater Island.
I've never heard this song before.
Only people from here know it. It tells the story of the miraculous catch.
I saw the newspaper clipping. You don't believe it, do you?
Watch what you say, young man.
That catch saved our island.
Ah. Where's the proof?
We're the proof.
Without it, the whole of Darkwater would have died of hunger in 1847.
It's true. Everything happened just as it says in the newspaper report. Our grandparents tasted its flesh.
And it was delicious.
Oh, yeah.
What brought whaling to an end?
Sacred.
The whales, of course.
They all disappeared.
You exhausted the stocks.
You could say that, yes. There were fewer and fewer of them.
Until the last, the biggest.
The one of the miraculous catch.
Exactly.
I bid you farewell, gentlemen.
Good night, stranger.
Years ago.
So long.
The last whale.
I had to wake all the girls.
Charles Hawkins was a heavy drinker. And a debtor. Interesting.
Go talk to Fitz. See what's anything up here.
I've brought out the Charles Hawkins cargo manifests. They're on the table next to you. But in truth, you're likely to be disappointed. When you're done, come join me on the deck. I've brought out the Charles Hawkins cargo manifests. They're on the table next to
These manifests are signed by Charles Hawkins. But that's all I'll get from them.
Yeah, stack of papers.
The Scylla. It finished up beached at the entrance to the harbor. A souvenir from a more prosperous era. I guess this blackboard hasn't been wiped for more than 70 years. Fishing equipment. Could do with some rust remover. I wonder what Captain Fitzroy has got to say about this woman, Cat.
Captain, the terms of our agreement are clear. Keep your men under control. You cannot afford to provoke us. No need to answer this message. Just make your payment to the carrier. What a bitch.
Broken. This place seems half abandoned. This man and Fitzroy could be twins. What a macabre souvenir.
From here, I see everything that goes on in the harbor. The hard-working lives of my sailors, the fights at the stranded whale. Even the antics of these wharf rats don't escape me.
It's you who lays down the law around here.
Oh, I wouldn't go that far. I'm just the last serving captain on Darkwater. Tell me what I can do to help you.
Your manifests have been blacked out. They're totally unreadable.
Yeah, I saw that. I've got no idea who did it or why. I don't remember having countersigned anything special enough for someone to hide it.
And why obliterate the dates, as well as the goods stored in the warehouse?
You mean that the dates have some meaning?
I'm surprised Charles Hawkins had goods to store, knowing that whaling stopped in 1847.
I see that you're interested in the history of our island. Indeed, maritime activities ceased altogether at the end of the last century. I imagine that the Hawkins family had other types of contracts.
But you don't know with whom?
No, it was none of my business.
I found a threatening letter, signed by a certain Cat.
What? I don't mind you visiting my harbor master's office, but I'd prefer if you didn't go through my affairs.
Are you being blackmailed?
Not exactly, no. That shyster wants to make us pay protection money.
With any success?
I wouldn't say that, but she terrifies my men as much as her own.
Can you not do anything to stop her?
Don't you worry about that.
The miraculous catch. Is it a local legend?
Not at all. It's an episode from our glorious past. Go read the story of the sailor's return to Darkwater Harbor. It's displayed on a wall of the stranded whale.
I was looking at your photograph. The one of the man in front of the boat.
Ah, yes, I can see the one you're talking about.
Interesting resemblance. I thought it was you, but with a wooden leg.
And for good reason. That's my father in the photograph.
Your father?
John Fitzroy, captain of the Scylla. His wooden leg is here. You can go and see it if you're interested.
I'm looking for Warehouse 36. Do you know where it is?
Look, it's right there. The warehouse is opposite the jetty. You can't miss it.
Understood.
You know who the building belongs to, don't you?
It belonged to the Hawkins family.
Precisely. Ship owners from father to son.
I think that somebody here wanted me to search this warehouse. I shall be on my way.
Wow.
So come back and see me when you've got something new.
Wow. Always do that. Captain. James Fitzroy is captain of the Chibis. I have no idea. He offered to help me in my investigation. It's all that matters. The occult. The miraculous catch. Second volume. No, they didn't move. They did.
You saw what happened with those sailors. Don't hang around here unless you want trouble with the bootleggers.
This warehouse looks abandoned. Why does it interest them so much?
No doubt a question of territory, but I ain't asking. You want to know more, go ask the captain.
Good. Thank you. I've seen the kind of messages their boss sends. You're not scared of her.
Of course I am. Everyone's scared of that woman. She's not interested in small fry like me. You, on the other hand, nose around too much, you'll have dealings with her.
I shall take my leave. A handle. It must come from these old winches. It looks like there's a way in under this grate. This ratchet device seems to be usable. A whale vertebra. If the newspaper clipping in the bar is true, this bone is a real fossil. An old cogwheel. Rusty, but in working order. I could use this old winch to lift the grating. Looks like everything is in its place. All that's left is to try to turn this handle. Damn, I broke it.
Well, well. A little mouse has got lost on our turf. What gave you the crazy idea to come onto my turf?
Your turf? That's news to me.
For a guy who has no idea, you've been doing a fair bit of poking around. My men saw you staking out the Hawkins warehouse.
Is that against the law?
I'm no idiot, Detective. I'll tell you how things work around here. I decide who comes in and who stays out. And anyone who doesn't respect my rules, I punish them. You asked for it. Get this joker out of here. He might have a little trouble walking on his own.
Oh, I'm getting careless. I didn't see that coming. If I want to get into this warehouse, I'm gonna have to deal with her. You live here?
Why did you do that, huh?
We saw what you did to St. Brendan.
Yeah, we'll teach you to come onto our island and ridicule our protectors.
I've never heard of this saint. Is it a local belief?
But everyone knows St. Brendan, the Navigator.
He's the patron saint of whales and whalers.
What happened to the statue?
Go see for yourself. He's at the end of the jetty.
There's you, our beloved statue, and then those two bozos behind us. Wait, now that I think about it, it's got to be them. There's one of them who's always going back and forth to the statue.
Quieter. That's all we need for them to hear us.
What brings you to dark water?
The two guys behind you. What are they guarding?
The bootleggers. Scum.
They're protecting their territory. From whom, I wonder?
They really don't have a choice anyway. They're more scared of Cat than an attack by drunken sailors.
If only they would kill each other.
Is it Cat who's shaking down Captain Fitzroy?
Hold on just a minute. We didn't tell you a thing.
Nothing at all.
Isn't it a bit early for alcohol?
We got nothing better to do anyway. There's not much work around here.
Fitzroy gives us a few chores every now and again, but since the whaling station shut down, ain't a lot of jobs left around here.
So we drink.
Peculiar house.
Yeah, that's where we live. Our boat.
It's not because it doesn't float anymore that we're going to abandon it.
That statue represents your local saint.
What do you mean by local, exactly?
You wouldn't be looking down at us, like all townspeople do.
St. Brendan. He protected whalers and fishermen like us. Until those assholes defaced him.
I've taken enough of your time.
We'll see you later.
St. Brendan, patron saint of sailors and travelers. Desecrated. I can't even say which language it's written in. I've no idea what it says. Damnation. I broke it. What could have done so much damage?
You can't understand. You're not sailors. It's a sign. There's some...
You didn't tell me that the warehouse I was looking for was right in front of us.
Because its owner is dead. And I don't want to see you hanging around it. Now please, leave us to our work.
You can't understand. You're not sailors. Oh yeah? It's a sign. He's gonna get us in trouble. Something real bad.
That's Aurora playing.
Out, I'll have serious problems with you-know-who.
I bet that you hid them somewhere in your hut. How could you be dumb enough to leave the entrance to the warehouses unguarded?
Keep your voice down. Why not go and shout at the cat while you're at it? I don't want to end up with her little knife under my throat.
It's a stiletto, you idiot. And with that smell on your breath, I don't give you much chance anyway. This guy?
No idea. You better keep it shut. What's with you wandering around here like a hungry dog?
We saw you talking to the two soaks. Go die of thirst, the lot of you. It'll stink less.
Cat. She's your boss.
What? You listen through keyholes?
She's the boss, yeah. She says who goes in or not.
Shut up, you dummy. You wanted to know that you also talk too much.
She must be quite intimidating if she can make two men like you tremble.
She redid the smile at the last one who wanted to get in.
I hope he had a good dentist.
No, you don't understand. She really cut him a new smile.
But he only smiles with the left cheek.
She sounds frightening, your boss.
And she doesn't like to be talked about behind her back.
I went to see the statue of St. Brendan.
What makes you think we did it?
We're bootleggers, not savages.
Who do you think defaced the statue?
What do I know? They could have done it by themselves.
The sailors?
Who else, in your opinion? And who's interested?
So, who are you?
Are you stupid or are you doing it on purpose?
Everybody knows us on Darkwater.
I've just arrived.
Let's just say we're standing guard for the owner of the site. And we let no one enter her property.
I've got to enter the Hawkins warehouse. I guess it's gonna be complicated.
No, it's very simple, in fact. Fuck off.
I don't give a damn about your racket. I just want to get into this warehouse.
And we don't give a damn about you. Whatever your reason for wanting inside, there's nothing we can do for you.
What are you guarding, exactly?
Listen, bonehead, we already told you that we're guarding our boss's turf.
I've got to get inside. It's your boss who sent me.
Oh, yeah? And why didn't she say anything to us?
She sent me to see who's filching her stock.
I don't know what you're talking about.
You got no proof to back up your claims, and I'd advise you against snitching.
If I can't get rid of them...
What's with you wandering around here like a hungry dog?
We saw you talking. Go die of...
I bid you, gentlemen. If I can't get rid of those two, I'll have to look for another way.
Where do you think you're going?
I'm not here to hinder your work, officer. Edward Pierce, private detective.
Sorry, we're all a little on edge today. What are you doing here?
I'm investigating the death of the Hawkins family.
Darn it. Why do you want to drag up all that stuff again?
My investigation has led me to this warehouse.
That case was closed months ago.
What more can you say about the death of the Hawkins family?
Not much more than what everyone knows. I wasn't on the case. They were all burnt to death, right? Up at their place.
The whole mansion went up in flames.
Don't get it into your head to go wandering around up there. It's dangerous.
What do you mean by that?
The only one left there is old Silas, and the accident has affected him badly. He can be unpredictable, especially if a stranger starts poking around the property.
Is he a danger to the public?
No, he's in his own home. Do yourself a favor. Leave him well alone. You again? I told you to...
No need to...
another break?
One of those damn sailors.
Hey, Mitchell. A drink for our new friend. I owe you. You don't know how to fight, but at least you've got guts.
Yeah. Aching guts.
Huh. I've got them too. But you don't hear me whining like a pooch who's lost its leash. You didn't back down. Something that I respect. So understand by that, if I catch you again, you'll carry a more permanent reminder of our encounter. Tell me, what brings you to Darkwater?
I'm investigating the deaths of the Hawkins family.
It's very nice of you to tell me the truth so openly, but it's also really stupid of you. You really don't seem to know the area. Let me give you a little advice. If you want to survive more than a day in this rat hole, avoid talking about them to the first people you meet.
Is that more dangerous than having a drink with you?
I'm not kidding. The old families, they were here long before us. And they'll be here long after we're gone.
The old families?
The descendants of the first whalers. These people truly worship their ancestors.
I've got a few questions about the island.
I'm not here to give you information. Mitchell will tell you what he wants to tell you.
I need to get into the Hawkins warehouse.
You're out of luck. It's on my turf.
It's precisely for that reason that I've come to see you.
Are you pulling my leg?
I'm very serious. A whole family died in a fire, and I've got reason to believe that there's still more to be said on the subject.
Well, I see you're serious. To be honest, as long as it doesn't interfere with my business, I don't care. But I'll go with you, to make sure you don't stick your nose into things that don't concern you.
Sounds honest to me.
I'm not finished. If I do that for you, if I let you onto our turf to conduct your little affairs, you'll be indebted to me. And I guarantee that I always collect on what I'm owed. Think about it. I help you, you'll owe me a favor in return. Do you accept?
Do I have a choice?
Oh, we always have one, Detective. Follow me.
Nobody questions your authority here. I was given to believe that Fitzroy stood up to you.
That dope tried to save face in front of his sailors. They revere their brave captain as they do their old statues. But sooner or later, all statues get buried in bird shit, and nobody cares.
And the police? They do nothing to stop you?
The local cops? The cops drink like everyone else, sweetheart. They know where their interests lie. Apart from that pig-headed Bradley. I don't know whether to admire his stubbornness or to have pity on him.
Nobody listens to us anyway.
That's no way to treat an omen.
Oh, yeah? He's gonna get us in trouble.
It's fine. He's with me.
Oh. Okay.
That's how it's done. Do I still need to hold your hand? Or do you think you'll get by on your own now?
Don't overdo it.
Good. In that case, I'll leave you. I've done enough mothering for now.
Thanks, Mom.
Ugh, this place stinks. What is the connection between this place and the Sarah Hawkins case? Can't sleep. I know how that feels. Le Petit Parisien. Who might keep a news clipping about Sarah Hawkins? Who has enough money to buy painkillers, but stays in a place like this? It smells as bad as it looks. What happened here? Someone treasures this crumpled picture to the point of sleeping with it. Is this one of Sarah Hawkins' paintings?
Settled in here.
And whoever it is has something to tell me about the Hawkins case. Is there anyone in there? You! Don't move! You again. I told you to stay away from this warehouse.
It's clear that you knew the victims. I'm sorry to dig up bad memories.
I can still see the poor child lying burned on the floor of their drawing room. We had to tear him off. The marks must still be there. They're in my mind anyway.
It's horrendous. I'm going to need your experience to bring him justice, Officer Bradley. Can you explain what this painting is doing here?
This strange portrait. Wait, I know it. It was in the Hawkins mansion when we came to investigate the fire.
So you confirm that it was removed from the crime scene? interesting. I'd like to go and see the mansion now.
Of course. You want to go back along his trail?
I'd like to understand how this painting made it to here.
Come on. My car's parked down the way. Andrews, would you please shut the door? And open your eyes, damn it. This guy went right under your nose.
God damn it. Her again.
This case has nothing to do with you, Baker. Clear the passage, or I'll shut you up for obstruction.
Officer Bradley, you've finally grown a pair. Too bad you're too fat to see them down there.
Why you?
Come on, keep the smile. You don't want to force me to widen it.
Okay, I get it. Can we go to the mansion now?
I thought I'd straightened you out, mister. I am disappointed, but we'll meet again.
Is it far, this mansion?
Look behind you, at the top of the ridge. You see the building? That's the Hawkins mansion. Come on, we got some driving to do.
I would read it, but I'm chewing on stuff. Sorry. Wow. Wow. Wow.
Well, here we are, Hawkins Mansion. The place has been abandoned since the fire. There's only old Winchester in his hut.
Your partner, Andrews, warned me against him.
You managed to get something out of that bum? I'll end up asking you for advice.
He talks too much. He inferred that old Silas was slightly unhinged.
That's not far off the mark, I suppose. But kinda unfair at the same time. You know, Silas Winchester has been working for the Hawkins family as far back as I can remember. Charles was like a son to him. The day of the fire, he lost his whole family. So he's got nowhere to go. And, as you'll see, in a way, he's still watching over them. Is there anything else you want to ask me? Or do you want to go up there?
You're the one who looked after the Hawkins case.
Don't think I was trying to hide it. It's just that this discovery shakes my convictions.
That's why you're so keen to find out who removed the painting from the mansion.
Yes. If something escaped us, or if there's been a law enforcement error, then it's up to the police to make good its mistake. Anything else?
I prefer to be prepared if there's going to be trouble.
It's a wise attitude. But apart from old Silas and some rotten floorboards, there's nothing to worry about.
Could he be a problem?
Strictly speaking, he ain't dangerous.
But since the tragedy, he's been a little touched. Though he's a remarkably sturdy man, given his age. A true force of nature.
A sad old man doesn't worry me.
Gee, if you don't want to listen to my advice, we might as well go. Right?
I see no scorched trees or fire damage on the building.
You're pretty damn observant, ain't you? The fire was quickly contained. Old Silas acted as soon as he could.
Not soon enough to save the Hawkins.
They were trapped in the drawing room. And don't go troubling Silas anymore. His guilt torments him enough as it is. Are we gonna take a closer look at this mansion, or do you have other questions?
Night falls quickly here, and I want to be able to see when we arrive.
I'll go with you, if only to reassure Silas.
You stay here and keep an eye on things.
Okay. But don't get the impression that I'll leave you alone inside the mansion.
Jeepers. Poe's prophetic raven. Poor kid. Charles Hawkins' grave. Who could have done this? The flowers on Sarah Hawkins' grave are fresh. The old caretaker must be very attached to her. This house is much older than it seems, but the architecture seems too recent.
Fuck are you, whale?
I'll have to find another entrance. This entrance is still in use.
Whoa! Whoa! You were trying to force the door, you nosy prick!
Easy, sir, all right? Put down the axe.
You know what we do with rubble like you? We gut them! Dump them into the ocean!
Whoa! You're Mr. Winchester. Lower that axe. Let's talk calmly.
I'll show you how we have it out on Darkwater.
Sarah Hawkins' father sent me here to investigate the death of his daughter.
Webster, huh? I understand how he feels. But me? I want the dead to rest in peace. And that means kicking the ass of gumshoes like you.
Why would you not want me to help understand what happened here?
I've got nothing to hide. Tell me what you're doing here. And no baloney.
The police report describes a domestic accident. But Stephen Webster has several reasons to believe that this may not be the case.
Webster is as stubborn as an old mule. And I did tell him that we should let the dead rest in peace.
He wants to restore the reputation of his daughter. I just need to see where the fire started.
The mansion isn't safe. You would break your neck as sure as you're trying my patience right now.
That's why you barricaded the entrance.
That's right.
And this door?
It's locked. And I make sure it stays that way.
You still put flowers on her grave. You cherish her memory.
Mrs. Hawkins was an exceptional person. She cared for everyone around her.
Let me shed a light on what happened to her. Give me that key.
I'm probably making a big mistake, but it won't be the first. Here, take the key and do what you have to do.
Oh, thank you.
Go on, then.
Just
to get rid of you.
Let's see what more I can learn from this mansion.
Pierce, shall we enter? Now that you finish your fun and games with Silas, we can perhaps inspect the mansion.
You're right. Let's go. Let's take a look inside.
I'm coming with you. There's no way I'll leave you alone in there without a watchful eye.
Oh, I'll be right back.
Follow me. I know the place.
Follow me.
Who left this light on?
Let's see if I can find something the cops missed.
Silas managed to bring the fire under control, but it was already too late for the Hawkins.
Was Charles Hawkins a heavy drinker? The child's corpse left a trace. Where are the others? They had a fight. Why? Did Sarah Hawkins lose one of her shoes? How? Did it stop at the time of the fire? Did someone escape the fire? If the painting I found on the docks really came from here, how come it didn't burn?
Yeah.
Blood. This lamp was thrown. This was no accident. This was a fight. Someone fell here. A desperate attempt to flee. And the boy.
So, Detective, what do you make of it?
Much of this evidence simply contradicts the investigation's findings.
Really? Tell me about it.
It would seem at least one person fled the crime scene.
What'd you say?
That mark on the door. Someone's hand slid down there. The left side has no mark. The door was open and that someone left.
For God's sake. I mean, if it's Charles or Sarah, they wouldn't have left their son.
They would rather die in the flames as a family instead of calling for help? I don't buy it.
Oh, yeah?
I can tell where young Simon was, but not his parents. Where were their bodies found?
I can't help you on that one. Charles and Sarah's bodies had already been carried away when I got here.
Without your authorization? By whom?
Marshall, Andrews, Chief West. We never deal with cases like that, you know. So... well...
I'm sorry, Bradley. I found a bottle of whiskey. Empty.
Charles sure liked that drink.
No glass. I suspect one of them drank heavily to calm down. Charles, most probably.
That's pretty thin. Who says that bottle hadn't been there for a while?
I was under the impression the fire started around midnight.
Yes, Silas banged on our door around 1 a.m. Poor devil ran so hard he was almost belching his lungs out.
This clock burned before 10 p.m.
That's impossible. What you imply? Silas never would have hurt the Hawkins family. Besides, Dr. Fuller confirmed the hour of death in his report. Your clock must have already have stopped.
So be it. Let's move on. I firmly believe this fire was more than just an accident.
What's your theory?
I think the Hawkins couple got into a fight.
You sure of that?
There's only one way to be sure.
I just ask that you don't disturb anything. If Chief West found out about what we're doing, I'd be in serious trouble.
This door is locked.
Wah, wah, wah. Spooky.
The lyrics of the drunken sailor, a sea shanty.
Wah, wah, wah.
A crowbar could prove useful. An original edition of Mary Shelley's Frankenstein, dated 1818. A book on the first inhabitants of the island. It seems they got here around the 14th century. Moby Dick, Melville's classic. This piano is in disrepair. Looks like the Hawkins kept it more for decoration than for music.
Excuse me.
Darkwater history. This place was settled back in 1692. A book on hunting whales. The island's staple diet last century.
Fuck are you, whales?
There's something disturbing about this painting.
Fuck you, whales.
20,000 leagues under the sea. Another story about the mysteries of the deep. What could Sarah have done to make this person threaten to call the police?
As you know, I've always held you and your family in high respect. Unfortunately, I can no longer continue to close my eyes on the behavior of your wife. Last week, she again terrified my clientele. If these disturbances were to recur, believe me that although I would feel, it would feel like torture. Shut up, Anton. Fucking Anton.
Locked.
Oh, that's creepy.
The boys' room. A child's fort. From what threat was Simon protecting his world? Tom Sawyer. Mark Twain. Sarah must have read it to him before bed.
On this episode of books that are banned in school.
Sleeping pills. Strong for an 11-year-old boy. What was wrong with this family? What nightmarish vision could have inspired them? Simon's troubles went beyond family problems. That kid saw something. Something terrified him. What was going through that boy's mind?
It's the Shambler.
This door is locked. What will her room reveal about her?
She was a trans-dimensional thought.
Barbiturates. Sarah Hawkins must have been extremely agitated, resorting to such a treatment. Perfect.
Oh yeah.
Was Sarah Hawkins interested in the occult? What was she trying to achieve? This ledger lists all of the paintings Sarah Hawkins sold.
Shambler for FS.
It seems the last one was given for free to a Francis Sanders. I wonder why. Despite what happened, they seem to have loved each other.
I'm missing anything.
Sarah Hawkins' agent was getting worried. Seems she wasn't giving any signs of
Since
life.
you left to bury yourself away on that lost island, your art has been attracting increasing numbers of collectors. I beg you to send me some new paintings. Maximilian, of course. Maxi.
Bradley? Is that you?
Is anyone there?
Tokes. Toke time.
You! Stop!
Bradley, did you see which way he went?
Who? I didn't see anyone. I just heard some noise. Are you all right?
A man was hiding on the upper level. He ran when he saw me. He can't be far.
An original edition of Mary Shelley's Frankenstein.
Ooh.
Dated 1818.
I think this is the only time he uses the door. I can't remember. Or you never use this door. Because I can't remember if you ever use that fucking door throughout the whole game.
I'll cover you.
This door was closed earlier.
Where did he go?
It looks like an old seaway map.
Do you really think that your fugitive came in here? I don't see any way out.
As if the bookcase has been moved several times. This globe seems to have been part of some mechanism. Doesn't work. I must have... Doesn't work. I must have missed something. Doesn't work. I must have missed something. Doesn't work. I must have missed something. Doesn't work.
Celia. Orpheus. Where did they find the miraculous catch? Like, does it say?
Have you seen the old maritime maps on Charles Hawkins' desk?
Strange. No ship has left Darkwater shore for years. Maybe he kept them for sentimental reasons.
Doesn't work. I must have missed something. Doesn't work. I must have missed something.
Man, what the hell? The Saint.
Doesn't work. I must have missed something. Doesn't work. I must have missed something. Doesn't work. I must have missed something.
Man, this is getting weird. Is there a landmass on here that isn't on that globe, maybe? So I'm trying to look.
Looks like it worked.
Well done, Pierce.
Clearly, Charles Hawkins knew Captain Fitzroy very well. I wonder who the man with the glasses is in the photograph. Probably another... It looks like a freehand map of Darkwater. The Scylla. It's the boat that was stranded at the entrance to the harbor. They look like Celtic runes. Charles must have brought them back from one of his foreign trips.
Bloodstained pages I can't look at. Okay. See, there's stuff over here I missed.
These bandages are covered in dried blood. The same bandages that I saw in the warehouse on the docks. And given the bloodstains, I'd also say that it's the same person. The lyrics of the drunken sailor, a sea shanty.
Shelley's Frankenstein. Oh.
This place was falling apart long before the fire.
The fire was an insurance scam.
A book on the first inhabitants of the island. It seems they got here around the 14th century.
Okay. Let's move on. I think we're good. I gotta do this now because I'm pretty sure all this shit gets rearranged when you come back here because of the way the story goes to make you feel like you're going insane. So just want to make sure.
Charles and Sarah's wedding is painted by Sarah herself.
That'll be needed for...
Was Charles Hawkins some kind of explorer?
Two, probably.
Too much rubble.
See, I didn't
I'll find an
have
easier
this
way.
Stuff the first time I played. I was just going through it, getting the story and everything, seeing how it was compared.
The Last Supper of the Hawkins. What does this tell me?
There we go. See, I almost didn't do that.
kind of meat is this?
Oh, excuse me.
This place is for the head of the family, Charles Hawkins.
Misogynist.
The boy was probably here.
Family, the man.
Smashed his plate on the floor.
Fucking patriarch.
Sarah Hawkins' plate. Why did she leave it untouched? Something happened at this table. An argument? Charles Hawkins was a sort of traveler, right?
More like an adventurer, I guess. He left for months, exploring remote places and abandoned temples.
Have you seen the old maritime maps on Charles Hawkins' desk?
Strange. No ship has left Darkwater's shore for years. Maybe he kept them for sentimental.
The Scylla. It's the boat that was stranded at the entrance to the harbor.
I'm get weird. Yeah, weird time.
Secret passage, under the manor. It's like a detective novel. That guy must have already gotten far.
Just like a novel.
Yeah. And he had a direct means of entry to the crime scene. We must...
Wrong button. Yeah. Sales ledger. What's I miss there? I don't know. There's a lot of clues. Places.
Find it.
Why is this
Halt
place?
hangout.
It's more than just a tunnel. Look. Someone's been here recently.
3 seats. A disfigured saint. What does it mean? Did Charles Hawkins use this place? Who were the others? What is this mask supposed to represent? Whatever Charles Hawkins hid here, he didn't want it in his house. This piece of cloth is unmistakably from a dress. Sarah Hawkins. Was she hiding from someone? Whoever was sitting here could have seen Sarah Hawkins. Could this be related to her death?
Cultists.
This padlock is too complicated for me.
See, I wonder if that'll still be there. Fuck. I'll find out. I can't remember if it was still there last time.
Of course.
And something tells me that the key is climbing these steps. There's tunnels all over this island. Given the size of this cave, there's gotta be other entrances.
The passage continues further down. Might as well start with that.
I ain't gonna squeeze in there. I'll find another way. If possible, I prefer not to ruin my uniform.
Fine, fine. Go look for another entrance. I'll try my luck down below.
Typical cop.
Some kind of dream catcher. If I touch it, it'll turn to dust. These paintings must be several centuries old. This monstrous creature must be an allegory. These people lying down, are they dead? Are they asleep? These buildings seem to have come out of the water. Time has weakened these structures. I don't have time to search them all. It looks like animal oil, but certainly not whale.
Looks like some liquid that Dr. Herbert West would be very affluent in.
What's going on here?
Piers!
Keep your voice down. We're not alone.
Good God. What you got me into?
We'll see. I'll go on. Try to go down on your side.
Yeah, there's a passage. I'll meet you at the bottom.
table for sacrifice?
I got it. Oh, I can't breathe. What's happening?
Yeah, fall into a...
Is it my turn?
Who can
Yes.
file fifth gun?
It is time. You will soon be one of us. If your body and mind are ready.
You
I
don't
dream
want
of it every night.
to sleep with the fishes.
I have
see?
constant visions. I am ready.
Good enough. Prove it to us.
It's like in my dream. It seems to have been used recently. Probably some sort of ritual.
Ritual dagger. Let me carve out your heart so the sun rises tomorrow. Right? That's how that goes.
I can't read Latin.
You who sleep, accept this dream under your immortal will.
Ya Cthulhu Nithsiha Fitag.
Grant him your flesh and accept his, so that his body and yours may be one.
Yibithink Hupadk Cthulhu Bithinkal.
Locked.
I forgot to grab that whale.
Loig
Fucking
Padk
whatever.
Cthulhu Loigna. Your El Cthulhu Kashag. Your El Cthulhu Bogshunk.
Let your dreams go the way
I feel him.
Shh. You are gifted indeed. Not another word. Let him pass through every part of you. Oh, you sleep. We pray for your return into the kingdom of the earth. Cthulhu. Bring me more sacred flesh.
We are ready for the ceremony. What about your protege?
Dead? This ritual killed him. Where's the sense in that?
Bradley, what are you doing here? I saw two odd-looking guys coming down. Seemed up to no good. What in the world is this?
An intruder!
Oh, shit! Don't move! Police! Don't move! I won't hesitate.
Bradley, get back!
Shoot.
Get back!
You asked for it!
You shouldn't have seen this.
Caving in. I need to get out of here.
Time to fill up my drink.
My leg!
Excuse me. Excuse me. This is different from last time.
Light! At last.
Wah, 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 secret intruder at the secret meeting. Right, kitty? Ever to load though. Great game. No. Fucking hospital. No!
He's having a seizure.
He will survive. Strong such.
There, he's opening his eyes.
I can't get up.
Don't move, Pierce. You can certainly say that you gave us a scare.
What did you do to me? Undo these straps!
Whoa, go easy, my friend.
You were dead. He killed you.
Are you sure he's better?
He was dead.
Yeah.
Me too, we were dead. What are you doing?
I'm sorry, my friend.
What? No!
We adults dead.
What happened to me?
Oh,
Where am I?
Ha 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 ha. Ha 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 ha.
Mr. Sanders, you have to come with us.
No, please. I can't leave here.
You got no choice, Sanders, and neither do we.
You don't understand. If I go out, he'll see me.
Sanders, the painting guy.
You're leaving this cell.
Please. I don't want him to find me.
Wow. Oh yeah.
They tracked and hunted me, pursued me right into their dreams. They scribbled all over their maps in the wake of my
It's all the same friggin' guy.
No sea is dark enough to hide the color of my blood. No wind strong enough to scatter my dreams.
Seriously though, this Keanu
Lost of them rises up.
fucking character makes the game.
I will not be here to bear witness to it, because you will have released me. But the earth will resound to your cries, or theirs.
You there. Wake up. Come on, stand up. We don't have much time. Can you stand up?
Who are you?
A friend of Ethan Bradley. It was he who told me that you had been interned here.
Wait. Bradley is really alive? I don't understand. You filled me so full of drugs I can't distinguish dream from reality.
Please believe that I have nothing
Was
to
it
do
drugs?
with these disgraceful treatments. Look,
Or was
I
it
don't have time to
something
explain
else?
everything. I'm not really supposed to be here. And the same goes for you, according to Ethan. You must leave as soon as possible, and as unobtrusively as possible. I've brought you your clothes. Let me go ahead. We'll meet upstairs.
Wait a minute. What's going on here? What do they do to the patients to make them so terrified?
I would really like to know. I only see them when they are brought up for medical treatment, for problems they didn't have before going downstairs. But this is neither the time nor the place to talk about that. We must not stay here. There are 2 men standing guard near the stairs. It's the only way to the floor above. I shall try to distract them, and get at least one to come with me. All you need to do is to follow me as soon as the way is free.
Understood. What does this mean? What did he write about the painting? This is no medicine. Sarah Hawkins is on this list of authorized visitors. Am I in an asylum? Sarah? Why the strange symbol repeated over and over?
Jones.
If I don't get out of here, I'll end up like him. Poor wretch.
Dr. Colden, I would like to say that I'm surprised to see you, but we all know that your curiosity will be your ruin.
I don't understand. These people need care. You keep them in this terrible place as if...
Go back upstairs where your patients are waiting for you to treat them. As for you, gentlemen, do not disappoint me anymore. No one enters or leaves.
Yes, Doctor.
Yes, Doctor. Here, Doctor.
Damn it. I'll have to find a way of getting rid of those two myself.
Bard's a bitch. I do remember that.
The machine is working again, but the control wheels haven't been put back on.
I was just going to the storage room. I can bring them to you.
No, Dr. Fuller doesn't want us touching the pressure valves.
As you want. I'm gonna see if there's sleeping pills left. They've run out again upstairs.
Put a few aside for me, will you? And above all, leave the wheels where they are.
Locked.
Easier if I could just pull an Agent 47 and fucking shoot him in the back of the head.
This padlock is too complicated for me. It's no use. The padlock won't give. Scopolamine, morphine, opium, nothing but common drugs. With these chains on your wrist, you can't escape.
Man, I know there's a bottle of sleeping pills in here somewhere.
Control wheel to mount on a plumbing system.
gotta get padlock shit up better so I can get into that other storage room. That's where the sleeping pills are.
The green gas leaves from here, and it runs through the whole building.
No.
This padlock is too complicated for me.
Wah, wah.
This valve controls the pressure. Now for the next step. Have I activated anything? The door is blocked on the other side. This lever must turn on the gas machine.
doing there, but you don't seem to be friendly.
What do you want?
Sleep. That's all.
Sleep? You don't want to leave?
No. Have you seen the storm that's brewing? I'm fine here. Except for one problem.
You want sleeping pills, right?
Yeah. And in exchange, I can make noise. Lots of noise.
You'll draw the guards to your cell to allow me to escape.
So, you in? Find something to make me sleep, and I'll take care of the guards for you.
Is it the noise that disturbs you?
No, it's the nightmares. We all have them here. That's what wakes us up. And afterwards, there's no way to get back to sleep.
If I find something, who knows what I'll do?
Don't play the wise guy because you're on the outside and I'm not. Look, I do not stop. If I do not stop, he does not catch me.
I've got to hide before the guards see me.
Doctor, is that you?
Don't you worry about the doctor. Right now, he'll have plenty to keep him busy with his precious machine. It gives us time to get away. I'll undo you.
Get away? Get away where? I can't go anywhere. It'll find me, like it found me here. You're mistaken about the beast. Don't stay with me, or you'll end up the same way.
You're Sanders, aren't you? I heard you from my cell. What did they do to you? What does Fuller want with you?
The doctor? You think it's the doctor who scares me? The doctor wants to heal me. But he's the one who's crazy. He wants to restore my sight. He wants to give me back my eyes. And yet I told him that I didn't want them. I do not want to see it anymore. The real culprit is Sarah. Her and her accursed paintings.
You're kidding me. You're talking about Sarah Hawkins.
The one and only. The legendary.
There is no artist more enlightened or cursed than Sarah Hawkins.
In her office, I saw signs of a ritual, perhaps an invocation. These things, that's what makes you say she's cursed.
You're wrong. It was not an invocation, but a revocation. But she failed. And that's what counts.
What's going on this island?
I'm so sorry. We should never have met.
What are you talking about?
Destiny! It has trapped you. Don't let it see you, or you won't be able to escape it. Don't look at it. That's how it finds you.
What finds me?
Sarah Hawkins' visitor. The Shambler.
Sanders, pull yourself together.
Without her, it's no longer possible to save me.
No! Sanders! What the hell? I gotta... Okay. This is insane. What killed him?
That. It's motherfucking blood, motherfucking everywhere.
Damn! The gas! Oh. My head.
Later. We need to move on.
Yeah. Majora's Mask.
Who goes there? That nightmare again. I need a drink.
How do you feel?
Did I sleep long?
The day's only starting.
How's our fugitive? Dr. Fuller hasn't reported your disappearance to the Force, but that'll come soon.
Bradley?
Who else would it be?
Mr. Pierce, are you all right? You look like you saw a ghost.
There are things that I can't explain.
Tell us. What happened?
I have flashbacks. They haunt me.
What did they do to you?
There was that Dr. Fuller and a nurse. Blood everywhere. My legs, the pain, I couldn't bear it. I was screaming. They injected me with something. I woke up at the Institute. Bradley was there.
And how you scared us. You seemed demented.
You likely woke up during the anesthesia. No wonder those memories haunt you. What in God's name were they doing to you?
What happened afterwards?
When I woke up the second time, I was in a padded cell. That's where you found me, Doctor. After you released me, I got a good look at what's in store for the patients of the Riverside Institute. Hallucinogenic gas pumped into the cells. An infernal machine. Horrific medical experiments.
Impossible. Dr. Fuller would never do such a thing.
You should believe it, Ethan. What Mr. Pierce saw is precisely what I've been trying to prove. Did you discover anything else?
Given the energy he pours into Riverside, I presume it was Fuller's creation.
His father's, to be correct. He was a surgeon on board the Scylla. He founded the hospital in 1904 with funds from the Hawkins family before he died and his son Thomas Fuller took over.
Two families inextricably linked.
Most island families are that way. Captain Fitzroy's father was also a seaman aboard the Scylla.
Powerful families dominating everything.
Yes, and as you could tell, Dr. Fuller is like some crazed emperor.
He wouldn't be happy if he knew we were snooping around.
I know the risks. I don't fear him. Do you wish to know anything else?
Dr. Fuller seems to be leaving a trail of corpses. Not to mention those strange machines, chains, and tools of all kind.
Yes, I've been telling you that Fuller uses his patients as guinea pigs.
What I saw was more akin to torture than medicine.
Do you even hear what you're saying? Dr. Fuller is highly respected.
It's the truth, Ethan, and I'll prove it to you. I'm listening, Mr. Pierce.
What I'm sure of now is that the Hawkins case isn't just an accident.
And what brings you to that conclusion?
The fact that Charles Hawkins survived the fire.
I don't understand. Mr. Hawkins was buried.
That's what he would have you believe.
I have a hard time believing you.
You were there, Bradley. You even opened fire on him.
I'd remember that.
Why would he fake his own death? Do you think he covered up his wife's murder?
That's possible.
It seems hard to swallow. Don't you have anything more concrete, Pierce?
Bradley, what do you remember?
I don't understand your question.
The night we went into the Hawkins mansion. You don't seem to remember the tunnels and what occurred there.
No memory of going down any tunnel. No, we were in the manor, then,
Then what?
The rest is quite blurry. I don't recall how I came back home.
And then?
I went to visit you at the hospital and called on Marie's help to get you released.
And you don't remember the events of the tunnel?
I don't. Let's talk about something else.
I heard you talking earlier.
Why am I not surprised?
I get the impression you two don't get along.
Intrusive and not very clever. Anyway, let's get back to the business at hand.
I met a Francis Sanders. Do you know him?
Of course, he's a patient. Or was. I haven't seen him since Dr. Fuller had him transferred to the basement.
He knew Sarah Hawkins, and that's what killed him.
What? How did he die?
I'm not sure I can explain it.
Tell me how Mr. Sanders died.
I didn't see what, but something was there with us.
Of what do you speak?
Sanders said it was Sarah Hawkins' visitor. He spoke of it like a living being.
Sarah Hawkins? Have I missed something here? This makes no sense. I don't see how it can help crack the Hawkins case.
You really think she's involved? How could she have murdered Mr. Sanders?
Francis Sanders mentioned Mrs. Hawkins just before dying. It's no coincidence.
You know, Francis Sanders was a well-known art collector. I guess he can still pay a visit to his wife, Irene Sanders.
An art collector, you say? That's probably how they met.
If you plan on having dinner at the Sanders household, please spare the widow the tale of her late husband's suffering.
I don't agree. She deserves the truth.
But that truth may be biased. We don't know the bottom of it.
You're right. Without a plausible explanation for what I saw, let's not jump to conclusions.
That seems wise indeed.
Very well. I'll go to see Francis's widow. Perhaps I'll find a link between her husband's death and Sarah Hawkins.
Don't end up in the hospital this time.
I'll do my best.
This part too. Cat, claw, claw, scratch, claw, claw, claw.
What can I do for you, sir?
Mrs. Sanders, I'm a private detective. We must talk about your husband and his ties to Sarah Hawkins. Can I come in?
You may. However, before we go any further, please know that my husband died yesterday.
That is precisely what brings me here.
Well, well, look who's here. You know each other.
We met briefly. Time enough to iron out a few matters. The main thing is that we understood one another. The brave detective has a talent for sticking his nose into my business.
I bump into her every time I'm investigating someone's death.
It's a small island, Detective. My island. It's better that it's you bumping into me.
You're investigating Francis' death. Why? Who hired you?
I spoke to Francis before he died. His story suggests a link to a case I'm working on.
Well, since this business has got nothing to do with me, I'll be in your husband's office, Irene. We'll carry on later.
Very well, Miss Baker. This way, Mr. Pierce. And do make yourself comfortable. It would seem that you have much to tell me. May I inquire as to when you had the opportunity to talk to my husband?
Yesterday. I met him at the hospital. He spoke to me about Sarah Hawkins.
Oh, of course he spoke to you about her. That's all he talked about. Sarah Hawkins and her paintings. Please forgive my tone. The fact is that I have not been allowed to see him since he was interned. You, on the other hand, a perfect stranger, were able to see him and even talk with him the day he died. How was he? Were you present when he had this attack? What happened?
I expected to find you more grief-stricken than this by the death of your husband.
I do not like the tone of your allusion, sir. I had long months to weep every tear in my body, and to accept, if not my fate, at least that of my husband. And so I'm sorry to disappoint you if you're expecting more hysteria and grieving widow in my voice. Rest assured, however, my anger is real. I need to understand. How could this happen? In a reputed institute? And right before your eyes? Did you not do anything to help him?
With all due respect, Mrs. Sanders, it was you who sent him to this asylum, not me.
How dare you? What was I supposed to do, Detective? Upon seeing such a brilliant mind disintegrate in this way, waking with a start every night with him shrieking in horror, petrified before this accursed painting, unable to look away, until he managed to gouge his eyes out with his own hands. I should have listened to Dr. Fuller, let him intern him months ago. If I am to be condemned, it is because I did not act sooner.
I'm not here to condemn you, Mrs. Sanders.
Oh, I'm tired, Mr. Pierce. I would be grateful if you could tell me what you expect of me, and then leave.
How did you come to meet Sarah Hawkins?
We were the wealthiest and most influential families on Darkwater. Of course we would know each other. And when Charles returned from Europe with his sweet little artist, she and her sinister paintings were destined to catch my husband's eye. He bought many of her works over the last 5 years. They adorn his macabre gallery.
Did your husband talk to you about Sarah Hawkins' visitor? A shambler, to use his precise terms.
Well, you can imagine that's all he talked about. It's exhibited at the center of the gallery, No better place for the painting that endowed him with the privilege of such a shameful and miserable end to his life.
Hold on. The Shambler is a painting by Sarah Hawkins.
Who else to paint such horrors? Take a look for yourself, if you feel so inclined.
It is my only lead at this stage. I suppose I have nothing to lose.
Then you have paid no heed. For my part, I refuse to set foot in that gallery again. But if you're so eager to see it...
Thank you, Mrs. Sanders. I won't be long. Did she really care for him after all? The day the Shambler came into the Sanders' lives. Is this dagger part of Sanders' collection, or was he seeking to acquire it? Let's see what this cylinder has to say once it's inserted in a phonograph. Francis Sanders and Sarah Hawkins were close. Friends, even? Sanders' accession register. He wrote beside the Shambler, "Finally." What did Sarah Hawkins fear so much that she didn't want to sell the painting? He finally won. Was Sanders aware of his imminent doom? She didn't want Sanders to have the painting. She must have felt devastated. Was she jealous of Sarah Hawkins?
Yeah.
The Shambler. I need to see it.
Irene, I made a mistake. I fear that it might be too late for me. Nobody should enter, except to burn everything. I never had the courage. Pay somebody to do it. He's inside my head. I see him behind my eyelids each time I shut my eyes. I can't take any more. I can't hold him back. Forgive me.
Well, I guess he
Francis,
got
I should never
the
let
worth
them
of
take
his
you
painting,
away.
even though it was free.
What have I done? Everything is my fault.
A strange Amerindian pendant.
Yeah.
Strange. For months, Sarah Hawkins refused to part with... I could use one of those.
That's twice you've stepped on my toes, Detective. Try not to make a habit of it.
I've got a lot of bad habits.
Some can be more fatal than others. What have you come looking for in this gallery?
It's got nothing to do with you, Baker. At least I hope not.
Bravado. And a threat. In the same sentence. I appreciate the effort, Detective. But watch your tongue.
And you? What brings you to the Sanders home?
What I know does not concern you, Detective.
Must I ask, good Officer Bradley? I had the impression that the chemistry wasn't that great between the two of you.
Is that all you've got, Detective? I was invited here by Irene herself. It's got nothing to do with the police. As for your Bradley, it's me who gave him his scar. And try that kind of approach on me again, and I promise you, your face will be far more repulsive than his.
All's fair in love and war, I suppose?
Not now, sweetheart. I'd like to read this without some snoop looking over my shoulder. Go take a hike, Detective. Go take a hike, Detective.
An old diary.
all there is left. See, I read those every time I came across them last time.
Why was he so interested in old weapons?
Pretty sure that's the one right there I need to get.
The man transformed an entire wing of his manor into an art gallery.
Yeah, okay. So it is this knife.
Why was he so interested in old weapons?
Slash the painting. And I gotta do it in one knife for the trophy, so let's do it. Time to go with the Shambler, yo.
These artifacts date from pre-Columbian times.
I think we'll call it after this. It's like the halfway point.
What the hell was that? Damn. This dagger looks different.
You sure you won't be needing that hand? You're losing it, Detective. At this rate, you're right. The bottle will get you before I do.
You didn't see anything.
I saw you within an inch of putting a dagger through your forearm. Did I miss something more interesting?
I was attacked by a creature. I pushed it back, I think.
I think so too.
You knew. You knew about the beast.
What are you talking about? Think yourself lucky that I saved your hand, even if it was to save my goods.
You mean me?
Don't flatter yourself, sweetheart. I'm talking about the contents of this gallery. And by the way, where do you think you're going with that dagger?
It saved my life. It's an extraordinary dagger.
You should talk to Algernon Drake. He's an antique dealer here on Darkwater. He'll tell you all about it. From what I saw in the ledgers, it was him who sold it to Sanders.
The creature, this dagger, was the only weapon capable of pushing it back. If Hawkins was trying to get rid of this shambler, she might have made contact with Drake. This antique dealer has a good knowledge of the occult. I have nothing to lose by meeting him.
You've got your spunk back. Go where you want. I'm staying here to talk business with Irene.
Is it? A little bit more.
Where's the bookseller? An old diary. Freud's interpretation of dreams. It's the... work that laid the foundations of psychoanalysis at the beginning of the century. The Book of Zion is the foundational work behind Helena Blavatsky's Theosophical movement. Its followers place truth on the same footing as a religion. No. strange amulet. I have a feeling I'd better not touch it. What happened here? Let's start over. Where did they break in from? Blood. Seems like amateur work. Someone tall left this footprint. A man, probably. This burglar seems to be rather clumsy. What sort of thief? What happened that made the burglar? What killed all these animals? What the? Charles Hawkins? Looks like the symbol rejected Hawkins. What sort of power did Sarah Hawkins' painting possess? Sarah Hawkins helped hide something in this safe. Drake put in a great deal of effort to hide whatever is in here. Everything is linked to the Sarah Hawkins case.
think I'll call it. Just wait for this to load. Oh.
Dr. Colden, this man's condition is
Alright. Well, probably finish this tomorrow. Hopefully get a different ending, too. Peace out.